Today I want to walk you through the 5 worst food for memory loss, and I promise you by the end of this video, you will never look at some of these foods the same way again. Now let's talk about what's on that list. Number 1, ultra processed foods, UPFs. In my clinic, I describe ultra processed foods as anything that comes in a packet, has more than 5 ingredients you cannot pronounce, and was designed in a factory, not a kitchen. We are talking instant noodles, packaged snacks, factory biscuits, flavored crisps, fast food burgers. These foods are loaded with sugar, salts, artificial additives, and unhealthy fats. Together, these ingredients trigger what neuroscientists call neuroinflammatory response. Essentially, your brain gets inflamed. And unlike a swollen ankle, you cannot see or feel brain inflammation. It works silently. And research shows that people who consume the highest amount of UPFs experience a 28% faster rate of cognitive decline compared to those who eat minimally processed foods. Think about that for a second. The same age, same education level, but 28% faster memory decline simply because of dietary patterns. Instead of grabbing that packet of flavored crackers in the evening, try a small bowl of roasted groundnuts or walnuts with a piece of fruit. Your brain will thank you for it. Whole food nourish neurons, packaged foods inflame them. Then number 2 are sugary snacks and drinks. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine your brain cells are like a network of electrical cables, transmitting signals, storing memories, making decisions. Imagine that every time you consume a large sugary meal or drink, you flood that system with a power surge. At first, nothing obviously breaks, but over time, those repeated surges damages the insulation on those cables. So neurologically, what we see is reduced synaptic connectivity, impaired insulin signaling in the brain, and increased production of harmful proteins associated with Alzheimer's disease. So soft drink, sweets, cakes, sweetened juice, these foods cause rapid spike in blood glucose. The brain, which needs steady fuel, not a roller coaster, get confused. And over time, you get brain fog, poor recall, and in more advanced stages, accelerated dementia. So what you need to do is to replace sweetened drink with water infused with cucumber or lemon. If you need something sweet, a small piece of dark chocolate, which contains 70% cocoa or higher, actually contains flavonoids that support blood-brain flow. That's a sweet with a benefit. Then number 3 are processed meats like sausages, hot dog, sliced deli meats, smoked fish loaded with preservatives. These are beloved staples in many of our homes, and I understand that. I want you to understand what happens inside your brain when you eat them regularly. Processed meat contains high level of sodium and chemical preservatives, particularly nitrates. These compounds have been linked to increased production of harmful proteins in the brain, reduced cerebral blood flow, and a higher rate of cognitive impairment in older adults. They essentially reduce the amount of oxygen-rich blood reaching your brain cells. Think of it like a partially blocked water pipe in your house. The water still flows, but not enough to keep every room functional. Over time, those underserved rooms, which in your brain represent memory, attention, and language, starts to suffer. So choose fresh, unprocessed proteins like grilled fish, boiled egg, lean chicken, beans, or lentils. This gives you the protein that your body needs without the neurological cost. And if you are finding this video, this information valuable, and I hope you are, please hit the subscribe button right now. Every week, I bring you honest, evidence-based medical information. No fluff, no scare tactics, just the truth that your doctor should be telling you. So subscribe and ring that bell. Let's keep your brain sharp together. Then food number 4 are foods cooked at high heat. This one surprised a lot of my patients because it involves a cooking method, not just a food type. When you fry, grill, or boil food at a very high temperature, a chemical reaction occurs that produces compound called advanced glycation end products or AGEs. Now, AGEs are not something you can taste or smell, but inside your brain they are doing real damage. They trigger oxidative stress, they promote inflammatory response, they promote neural inflammations, and crucially, have been linked to the formation of amyloid plaque. If you know anything about Alzheimer's disease, you will know that amyloid plaque are one of its defining pathological features. So your regular fried yam, fried chicken, grilled suya at a very high heat, enjoyed occasionally is fine. But when eating daily over years, your brain is paying a hidden price. So try steaming, poaching, slow cooking, or stewing your proteins with vegetables instead. Here is a practical tip almost nobody talks about, and that is marinating your meat in lemon juice or vinegar before cooking actually reduces AGE formation significantly. So if you must grill, marinate first. It is that simple. Then food number 5, alcohol. I know this one is uncomfortable for some people, but as your doctor, I won't be doing you a disservice if I soften on this. Long-term alcohol consumption, even at moderate levels, causes measurable structural changes in your brain. It shrinks the volume of prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain responsible for decision making, emotional regulation, working memory. It also disrupts the formation of new memories in the hippocampus, that's the brain's memory center. The Surgeon General of the United States has stated clearly there's no entirely safe amount of alcohol when it comes to the brain. For older adults, especially, the brain reduced ability to compensate for this damage makes even regular social drinking a risk factor worth taking seriously. I've had patients in their late 60s who were convinced their forgetfulness was simply aging. But when we looked more carefully, years of habitual evening drinking were a significant contributing factor. If you drink socially, always pair alcohol with food. Avoid artificially flavored mixers and give your brain a minimum of 2 to 3 alcohol-free days each week. Ideally, work towards full abstinence if cognitive health is your priority. This is my clinical recommendation. Now, here is something I want to add that goes beyond simply avoiding bad food. In 2015, researchers at Rush University Medical Center published a landmark study introducing what they call mind diet. It's a hybrid of the Mediterranean and DASH diet specifically designed to protect aging brains. The findings were extraordinary. People who follow the mind diet rigorously has a 53% lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Even those who followed it moderately still reduce their risk by 35%. The mind diet emphasizes 10 brain healthy food groups: the leafy green vegetables, all other vegetables like nuts and berries, particularly blueberries and strawberries, beans, whole grains, fish, poultry, olive oil, and a small amount of wine if desired. Eventually, equally important, it specifically identifies 5 foods to limit: red meat, butter, margarine, cheese, pastries, and sweets, and fried or fast food. Notice how that list of food to limit overlaps almost perfectly with what we've discussed today. This is not coincidence, this is convergent science. Multiple research pathways pointing to the same conclusion. What you eat shapes the brain you will live with in your later years. When I counsel patients on brain health, the mind diet is now part of every consultation I have with everyone over 50. I encourage you to look it up, and I will do a dedicated video on it very soon. So what are the 5 worst food for memory loss? Let's bring it home together. Number 1, ultra-processed food. They inflame your brain from inside out. Then number 2, sugary snacks and drinks. They spike your sugar, they spike your glucose and starve your neurons of steady energy. Then number 3, processed meat. They restrict the blood flow your brain desperately needs. Then number 4, food cooked at a very high heat. They create compounds that mimic the damage seen in Alzheimer's disease. And number 5, is alcohol. It literally shrinks the brain regions responsible for your memory. Now, I want to be clear. I am not saying you must eat perfectly every single day. None of us do. What I'm saying is that awareness is power. When you understand what these food are doing inside your skull, you begin to make different choices, not out of fear, but out of respect for the brain that carries every memory you have ever made. So your brain is worth protecting. Start today. And if this video helped you, please share it with someone you love, especially if they are over 50. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it now. This channel is dedicated to giving you the kind of honest, practical medical guidance that transform life. I am Dr. Emmanuel Bale. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.